Hello boys and girls, I'm back. I've got another one for you. Just when you thought you might be getting sick and tired of the sight of me, you've turned onto my channel again. Thank you for that. In my last video I mentioned that my next project was going to be a book, a big book. This is a Catholic Missal, printed in the Tamil version, Sri Lankan. And unfortunately, due to time and excessive use, it's pretty much fallen apart. The book cover has become completely detached. Okay, the spine board is completely missing. A couple of pages have come loose. The spine itself is breaking apart. The headbands and everything are going to be coming off. And my role with this one, it's a fairly simple one, is to stabilize the text block and to remount it into the book case. So off camera, I've spent a little bit of time getting the bits and bobs together that I need. But once again, with all these restoration projects, as bad as they look now, hey, guess what? They're going to look a lot worse by the time I'm finished with it. Okay, so off camera, I've taken the opportunity to get everything ready. I'm going to double up on the mull because it's a very heavily used book. I've already got my spine board cut, I've got my end sheets cut, I've got my new headbands cut, and I've got my hinge sheets already cut. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we can do about sorting this book out. I've already, appears, got a spare end sheet available, so I'll look at using that. And again, yeah, it's completely detached. I've got another spare end sheet already installed in the book, so I'm not going to need those that I've created. I just need to stabilize that and resecure it into place. Okay, I've already got my hinging tape cut and prepared as well. So first job is to secure the text block. I'm going to put the book cover away. Also, if you notice, these are all, the leather has actually peeled away. The hinges are still there, but I'm going to wrap these with a strip of Napa leather, okay, just to reinforce those on the outside and to improve the appearance of the book without losing the gold leafing on the back of the book. So I'm going to see if this will fit into my book clamp. It's just about. I've got a lot of winding to do. So I'll come back once that's done. So now that I know that the book will go into the press, I'm going to just take off this primary. Okay, and this will remove the headbands. I'm going to leave the ribbons in place. Let's get a pair of scissors out. Let's put the clock there where you can see it. Can you see it? Yes, you can see it. Because what I'm going to do is incorporate the ribbons that are already in there. Don't particularly want to be changing them if I can avoid it. So what page is that on? Let's pull that back down into the page. Not understanding the language in any way, shape or form, I don't want to change the pages that the ribbons are mounted in, just in case they're of a significance. Okay, so that bit's done. Scissors can go away. And I'm going to get out my EVA and my tipping brush. And I'm just going to relocate this loose page here. There's actually some of it missing, but let's see what we can do, okay? So a nice bead right the way along here. Okay. And making sure this is the right way round. Relocate the page. And again, bone folder time. Oh, bad bottom of that. Okay, so I can have a little look. Yeah, the text book looks absolutely beautiful. It's a hand sewn book. Can you see those lines of stitching going across there? Some very skillful people have put that book together. So now, the question I'm going to ask myself is, these end sheets here, are they going to afford me the opportunity to reinforce the hinges, or am I going to take them out? Because they're both in pretty good nick. That one just needs sticking down. I'm going to have to take them off. So I'm going to tip into place the two end sheets that I've made. Okay. So we actually need to adjust them for width. So bear with me just for a second whilst I do that. Okay, so I've just made the two end sheets, which I will secure onto here, and once again using the flat brush, can you see my finger keeps on locking up again? Same problem I had all day yesterday with the other book. The video for the elderly lady whose children asked me to restore her wraparound book, that is now on YouTube, so please feel free to go on to my channel, Grandpa Chris, and have a little look see. Okay, so that one's done. Turn it over and do the other side. Okay, so I have my second end sheet here measured up and cut accordingly. Now we can put it into place, making sure that I get it the right way round. Putting a reasonable bead of paste. All the way along there. And then just slotting it into position. Bone folder. And just gently wipe it into position. So that's that part of the task is done. So I'm going to bring in the book press and then we can move forward. it in, slide it right across. Now this one, I have no need to worry about the spine being rounded. I just will give it a gentle bit of persuasion. But that's how it's supposed to work. It makes a change when it does. Okay, so knowing that the ribbons were mounted at the top of the book, or the head of the book, I know which way my book needs to be facing. Okay, so time to slide you up a bit and lift you down a bit. Chair gets out of the way for a few minutes, and this is where I get the ball brush out, because we're now going to be getting rid of the dangerous bits. That over there where it's going to be needed. Okay, so can you see me? Can you see the book? Hello. Just peel some of this surplus paper off here so that it's not too thick behind the head bands. Yeah, that all looks nice and tidy. So we can start getting the spine ready to receive the mole. My wife is coughing her head off downstairs at the moment. I hope she hasn't got a bit of a cold coming on. So I'm going to hide the ribbons behind the primary on this one because they're the original ribbons to the book. I'm not adding any new ribbons. So as I said, I'm doubling up on the mole. It's actually a bit too wide, so let's trim that back a bit. There we go. I have to have this one back to the parish tomorrow because they do not have an alternative one to use should there be a Tamil Mass. I know there won't be one today because it's St Anthony's Novena Day today, and that's all in English. So that's the first sheet done, so I know I need to trim the second sheet because I cut the two to the similar size. Just eyeballing them. Bring this one in. Use the bone folder just to push it into the existing layer of glue. And then wipe the glue off the back of the bone folder. It's starting to feel a bit rough. There we go. Come on, come on. Thank you. So, just about ready for the headbands now. And I'm replacing them like for like. That's the foot of the book. Put a line of glue along there so that the spine sheets will stick to them. That's the next element of it. I've got two brushes going at the moment. I've got the ball brush and the narrow brush. Just mix some of that in. And then we put the spine sheets in. You've all seen this before in all of the videos that I've done, so don't need to do a commentary on it. Having to use two different sheets of A4 for this. Because it's such a big book. Last one. Schools are just kicking out at the moment, and we've got the youngsters all walking past the front of my house. I'm quite fortunate in this area that certainly the local school at the end of this road emphasises personal discipline and personal responsibility to all of its children. So they're pretty well behaved around here. Okay, so that is ready to go. Round the edge over so that it takes the shape of the book. Do the same on the other side. That way when the rest of the book block itself, or the book cover, comes in contact with it, it doesn't cause any issues. So I've got a little bit of spillage here, so I'm just going to wipe it up. Okay, so that's the text block done. So let's take this off. So the new end sheets will cover that deficiency. Put it in there just to cover that. Right, so that's now secure. So I think I'm going to put my spine tape into place just to reinforce. Okay, you can see what I'm doing there, can't you? Yeah. This is a woven book tape as opposed to the plastic book tape that I used on previous projects. Very, very strong, very resilient piece of tape. Also, a right pain in the bottom if you need to take the backing sheet off it. So let me see. Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to look bad. It's not as good as I would like it to be. So what do you think, boys? Does that look okay on there, or should I leave it like that? I think it needs to be there. And then the other bits will fold up underneath. Is that too bright? Okay. So let's move that over and bring the chair back in. Get my wax paper. Okay. Oh dear. Yeah, I think I'm going to do some nice lamb ribs, grill some lamb ribs tonight. They usually come out quite nicely. What's the time? It's 10 to 4. I'll get those into the marinade by 4:30, 4:35. Yeah, okay, there we go. Just going to straighten this a little bit. Get rid of that. That's better. They're all okay. So I just use the ball brush. There we go. So just draw the glue across. Make sure it's nice and even. There's my tissue. There's my tissue. I'll do both of them at the same time. Glue will have a chance to cure a little bit then. You know, for a number of years I used the GoPro cameras with their inherent battery issues. Since I went over to the Action 4, the DJI Osmo Action 4 with their enhanced batteries, I've been getting up to 2 hours of recording time from each battery in between each charge. And this is the battery that I finished off yesterday's video with, 64% at the moment. So that was an hour and a quarter yesterday. And this 30 minutes or so today. So into place. Let me turn it over. Fold it into place. Again, fold it into place. And just ease it into place with the bone folder. Go back over to the other side. That looks good. Okay, so that's number one. This one should be pretty much cured by now. Ooh, we don't want it cut. It will stick straight away. Okay. Turn it over. Pinch it in. Pinch it in. Hold it into place. Okay. And once again, just tease it into place with the bone folder. Okay. To put that in there. Again. This wax paper is lovely stuff. So this is the spine board, which was completely missing from the original presentation. Again, wipe the fingers. Again, move my wax paper out of the way, making sure this is completely flattened, making sure that the hinges are the same size on either side, rubbing it into place, turn over, bearing in mind the condition of the leather. Just gently easing that in, finishing the process from that side, and then giving yourself a little bit more reassurance. Okay. one's easier. This tape is a lot easier. It can be a real irritant getting the backing paper off of the blue tape. The only thing with this particular book tape is it's £22 a roll. Which is quite expensive. Okay, so just ease it in. There we go. The excess. And leave that flat for a couple of hours to harden off. Okay. So I think that's pretty much as far as we can go until both the text block and the bookcase themselves have dried. So that will be a quick attach for later on this evening. So just now finally falls with me to have a quick tidy up, make sure that my workstation is presentable again. And we'll bring you back in a couple of hours. Hi guys, it's now just before 7 o'clock in the evening, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time just reuniting the book. Everything seems to have gone quite well as far as the book cover is concerned. Hinges are all in shape. So as we've seen it before, so we will do it again using the round brush. Just had some absolutely delicious lamb ribs, which are prepared earlier on in the day. Basically a little bit of sea salt. You wash them thoroughly. Nice bit of sea salt. And under the grill with some olive oil just sprinkled over the top, and then slow grilled over about a 25-minute, no, a little bit, yeah, 25 minutes, and then turn them, and then another 25 minutes and turn them, and keep doing so until they're golden crispy brown. And just dipped into a little bit of fresh homemade mint sauce. Oh, you just cannot beat it. And then finished it off with a lovely bit of Italian ice cream. Some beautiful vanilla flavoured ice cream laced with chocolate bits. Once I've done the book, I'm going to wash it all down with a glass of American IPA. So we're ready, we're steady, make sure it's aligned top and bottom. That sheet can come out now. I'm going to move it over to there. Make sure it's aligned top and bottom. Make sure it's square. And over we go. Bang, bone folder. We go back to that page. Gently manipulate the page. Easing out any air bubbles around the edges. I'll be able to take this back to the church tomorrow. Let's see if anybody notices, eh? Okay, so second sheet of wax paper in between the end sheets. Moved into position. That all looks very good. Fairly liberal quantities of adhesive. First layer of mould into place. I've doubled up the mould to make the hinge stronger because this book does get a lot of use and it is heavy. And if you don't look after the hinges, then it can be a bit of an issue. Just pulling away from the back piece and then just spread some paste out across the sheets, working from the middle outwards. That way tends to avoid any creases. Sheet can come out and holding it square, bringing it over. Turning it back over, going to the end sheet. And removing any creases. It's important that you don't press too hard with the tip of the bone folder, just in case you puncture through the end sheet that you just fitted, because it is wet with the adhesive. Equally important that you get all of the creases out, otherwise it just won't look right when you open the back of the book. And boys and girls, let me swipe you up. That's why you went quiet. Get up there. Okay, so that's taken 6 minutes and 25 seconds to rejoin the text block and the bookcase. And now we will just let that sit and cure overnight, and I can relax. And as you can see with the, you remember what the hinges looked like on the outside, and now they look absolutely lovely. And the book is ready for many more years of service. 1971 this one was issued. It's about the only thing I can make out on the inside of that. So, thank you boys and girls, thank you for joining me. I'm going to go down and crack open that can of American IPA and sit down and watch an episode of MASH. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Certainly hit the like button and I'll be very happy. God bless you one and all.